All right, today we're in 4.6, writing equations in slope-intercept form. I'm just going to throw this out there. This is one of my favorite lessons to teach. Okay, so, and it's not my favorite because it's the most difficult. All right, is it easy? No, but here's the reason why I like it, okay? I like this lesson because it is a brand new concept. Like, you're actually now, for the first time, you're writing an equation that is represented by a graph. So up until this point in chapter 4, you've been taking information to graph the equation. Now you're going to have the graph, you're going to have those ordered pairs, and you're going to write the equation. So it's a new concept, but we're using so much of what we've already learned. And to me, it's fun to see you guys pulling back in information like how to find slope, how to read a graph to find slope, how to use ordered pairs. And it went really well last hour, okay? So I'm expecting the same for you guys. So writing an equation in slope-intercept form. The first way you could see that is through a graph, where I have a graph and I need to pull this information off of the graph and plug it into my slope-intercept. So I need a formula, okay? I don't know where to plug in these numbers without a formula, okay? Y equals mx plus b. So y and x, those are just a part of the formula. There's two things I need to use the graph to find. It's m and b. What does m stand for again? Slope. And what does b stand for? Y-intercept, okay? Slope and y-intercept. So y equals, could I use the graph to find slope?
Yes.
Yeah, I can count rise over run from left to right. So let's do that together. It should be on your notes. All right. Wait, first of all, is my slope positive or negative?
Positive. Negative.
It's negative. 1, 2, 3. Negative 3 over 1, 2. So that's my slope. Y equals negative 3 over 2. I plug it in for m. X is just a part of my formula. I don't need a value for x. What did b stand for again? Y'all just told me? Can I see, based on where this line is crossing, can I see where it crosses?
Yes.
What is it?
5.
Positive 5 or negative?
Positive.
Plus 5. And that's my equation. Okay? So this is reverse of what you've already learned. Before you had the equation and you had to graph it. Now you have the graph and you write the equation. How do we do, guys?
Great.
Do okay? All right, so that's definitely one that you would see on a quiz or test in the future. Now we have another way, okay? And it's through an XY table. Now I have these tables of values, but remember, an XY value together makes an ordered pair. Is there a way to find slope using ordered pairs?
Yes. X,
Do you guys remember your formula?
X1, X2.
No, not quite. M equals Y2. Can y'all say it with me? Minus Y1 over X2 minus X1. Very good. All right, so if you get the order wrong in your formula, you won't get the slope right. Okay? So you've got to get that right. Now, we come back over to the table of values. You can pick any two values in this table. Any two. Okay? It needs to go top to bottom, though. So, like, I could pick the first and the third. I could pick... Sorry, hold on. I didn't mean to erase those. I could pick the first and the second, which is usually what I do. I just pick the first two. Okay? I could pick the first one and the fourth one. Here's what I can't do. Don't do the fourth one and then the first one. If you do it out of order, your slope will be backwards. Okay? So I'm just going to pick the first two. All right? There's no need to get fancy on this and try to get creative. Just pick the first two. Okay? So I have 0, negative 3, and 3, 2. Okay? Now, I can use my formula to find slope, but my formula actually does me no good if I don't know the sequence of these values in the ordered pairs. Can y'all say it with me? x1, y1, x2, y2. Okay. Sorry. Yes. Thank you for catching that. That is very important. 3 is supposed to be negative in my ordered pair. Okay, so now I want to see who can remember, this was on our last test, okay, I know it's been about a week, how, find your slope. Use your ordered pairs to find your slope. All right, so m equals 2. Minus is a part of my formula. Minus what? Negative 3. Did you guys catch that double negative?
Yeah.
Over 3 minus 0. Okay, over 3 minus 0. So now my double negative changes and I have 5 over 3. Remember what I was doing here. What is 5 over 3? It's my m. I don't know how to do it, sign language. Yes, it's my m, so I plug that into my formula. Y equals m x, but now I need my y-intercept and I don't have a graph to look at. Something over here in my table of values. Let me just erase the highlighted ones so nothing throws you off. Something over here is going to give it away. Remember, in order for it to intercept y, okay, so y is straight up, right? It can't have any x value at all. If I go right on the x-axis, I'm not going to intercept the y. So my x value has to be 0. Do any of these ordered pairs have an x value of 0?
Yes.
Which one?
First
one. So the ordered pair that has the x value of 0, the y value will be the y-intercept. Think about it. If I don't go either way on x and I go down to a 3, that's where it's going to cross y. So in the ordered pair that has 0 for x, the other number, the y value, is your y-intercept. There's no math to do. You just do a minus 3. Now, why did I say minus 3?
Because it's a negative.
Because it's negative. If that had been positive, I would have said a plus 3. Okay, how do we do on the table of values? Do okay on that? I'm going to show you a lot of different scenarios that we're essentially doing the same thing. To write an equation, you need 2 values, slope and y-intercept. Okay? All right, so now let's look at this one. We're going to do a lot with this example. We're going to start here. This is like a multiple choice option here. Which equation is shown in the graph? When we first look at this, we're like, what in the world is going on here? These equations do not look right. Right? Would y'all agree? These look like real weird. Okay? So go over to the line though. Tell me what can you tell me about this line on this graph?
It's horizontal.
It's horizontal. What do we know about the slope of a horizontal line? It's 0. So let's see what that would look like in an equation. Y equals, you said slope is 0, 0x. Because the slope of a horizontal line is 0, right? Is there a y-intercept here? Does it cross the y-axis?
Yes.
Where?
Negative 4.
Negative 4. Now, this would be like a -1 or a -2 on a test because I do need you to recognize that when it's 0x, it's actually gone. This is the full credit. Y equals -4. Now, is there an option in there? This y equals -4? Okay. Do you see how we got there? Do you see why there's no x value in my equation? Because 0x canceled. It canceled out. Okay, so now I'm going to give you another one. All right, so that was the example, but I kind of showed you that one, so I want to see who can get this next one. I'm going to change up the color of the line. Okay, so I've got this one. I'll just put some random points on there. Not that it matters. Okay, I want you to write the equation represented by the purple line. So again, what kind of line is this? Horizontal. So I know I'm not going to have a slope. So you're just going to say y equals 2. Y equals 2. Now I'm going to give you one more. Yes, Micah?
Could be vertical?
I'm about to do it. right here. Kind of ran out of space on that. Okay, so here's your vertical line. Okay. Think about what you know about the slope.
Oh, I do know. I got it.
Okay. So the slope is what? The slope is undefined. Okay. Well, you can't write undefined into your equation. Okay. So don't worry about that. Now, if you were doing rise over run, okay, this would be y equals, my rise is -2. -2 over 0x. Okay. Technically, that's just gone. All right. So on a vertical line, the y equals part is out. On a vertical line, the way you would write this equation is whatever value it intercepts the x-axis, that's your equation, x equals -3. There is no slope. The slope is undefined. So slope-intercept form is out. Now, you actually have done this in reverse on this lesson, where I said x equals -3. Let's see if you guys remember. I said x equals -3. You went to -3, plot the point, and you draw the line in the opposite direction. Okay, remember that's how we graph vertical and horizontal lines. So in this lesson, you have the graph, and then you write the equation. Okay, so if it's a vertical line, it's going to be x equals whatever value.
I got it.
If it's a horizontal line, it's going to be y equals. All right, how do we do on horizontal and vertical? Okay? Girls, did we do okay on that?
Because you graphed it as 3, 2, 3.
No, so.
All right.
so
I know it's kind of. I know this slide's kind of crazy because we did a lot.
Where intercepts.
Okay, so now I have another table of values. It just looks a little different. My process is still the same. Again, I'm trying to give you different scenarios that you might see, but my process is still the same. I'm using my formula, y equals mx plus b. I need to find m, and I need to find b. Okay, using this table of values. So I need to pull out ordered pairs to find my slope. That's the only way I can find my slope. Again, it doesn't matter if you pick the first one and the second one, the first one and the third one, but don't do the third one, then the first one. You need to go in order. My suggestion, pick the first two. Okay, just pick the first two. So make sure you write them in the right order. -4, 5, and 0, 5. I strongly recommend that you write them side by side because now you can clearly see which one's x1, y1, x2, and y2. Please go ahead and use your ordered pairs to find your slope. Okay, so you might be thinking, this one's kind of a little different. Okay, m equals 5 minus 5. That's a problem. Over 0 minus -4. Okay? So it's 0 over 4. So if I were to plug this in, which you don't even have to do this, the 0 over 4x, because you know 0 over 4 is what? 0, which makes x cancel out completely. Dude. Okay, now, what's your y-intercept? What's your y-intercept? Can you use the table of values?
Y-intercept is 5.
Yes. Use the ordered pair that has 0 for x. The other number, remember, I'm not going left to right any, and I'm going up to a 5, so it's plus 5. Now, again, this would be like minus 1 or 2 points, okay? Because this is actually gone, you should have just said y equals 5. Y equals 5, okay? So if you were to say the 0 over 4x, that's not quite right because there is no slope. What kind of line is this going to be on the graph? What kind of line? Horizontal. It's going to be a horizontal line. All right. Let's do this scenario. Again, guys, it's the same process, the y equals mx plus b. Okay? It's just now I just have 2 ordered pairs. So it's no, I don't have to pull them out of a table. I have my ordered pairs right there. Can I use ordered pairs to find slope?
Yes.
Absolutely. Then one of your ordered pairs, you say, well, Miss Kinder, what if one of them doesn't have 0? They will in this section, okay? And 4.7, they won't, but today they will. So for today, you can bank on one of the ordered pairs telling you the y-intercept, okay? You can bank on that. All right, so y equals mx plus b. Go ahead and find m and b and write your equation. At least try to find m, okay? Slope. M equals -5 minus -5 over 2 minus 0. So that's going to be 0 over 2. All right, for the most part, I saw that everybody got that. Y equals 0 over 2x. Now I come back up here to my ordered pairs. Which one, the first ordered pair or the second, tells me the y-intercept? The first one, because it has an x value of 0. The other number is my y-intercept, but you have to understand why. Otherwise, you're going to be guessing, and there will be tricky ones that have y values of 0, and then you're going to get it wrong. If I don't go either way on x, and I just go down -5, my point is on the y-axis, -5. But this is not my full credit answer. Can anybody raise your hand and tell me what is, either one of you guys have it? What's my full credit answer? Josh? Y equals -5. Perfect. Y equals -5. Because 0 over 2x cancels out. That's gone. Okay, because that's just 0. All right, the next one is not, the next one actually has a slope. Okay, so you don't have to worry about, find your slope and then use the ordered pairs to find your y-intercept. You guys work together at your tables. Okay, I want y'all to do this one if you haven't already. Y'all are doing great on finding slope. Okay, look up here. All right, so m equals 2 minus 4 over 0 minus -1. Okay, so you got -2 over 1. Now, y equals -2 over 1x. Is there any 0 in that slope? So I have a slope, okay? The reason my answer was y equals -5 on the first one was because my slope had a 0 in it, so it canceled out. This slope does not cancel out. This is what we'll see 9 times out of 10. Okay, so I think I did too many horizontal lines, so you guys are getting thrown off on that. -2x. Now go back up to your ordered pairs. Which one tells you the y-intercept? The first one or the second one? The second ordered pair tells you the y-intercept. 0 for x, so 2 is your y-intercept. Plus 2. This is your answer. The only time that I would say, like let's say y equals 2, is if my slope canceled out. But does -2 over 1 cancel out? No, it doesn't. So this is my answer. Does that make sense, guys? Do you understand why this is my answer? Do you get it? Okay, I need you to get that. All right, that's really important. Okay, so last example. Engineers are digging a 3,500 foot long tunnel at a constant rate. If they did not say these two words, I could not figure it out. If the first month they dug 200 feet, but the next month they got a bonus if they dug a lot more, so they dug 1,000 feet, I could not use a rate to figure out how long it's going to take. However, if they are digging a predictable rate, that's what constant means. It's saying no matter how long it takes us, we're going to dig this amount of feet per month. Are you with me so far? That's what constant means. So it's possible now to use a formula to predict, that's what we're doing, how long it's going to take. All right, so at a constant rate, after 4 months, the engineers still need to dig 1,500 feet to finish the project. So how much time does it take to complete the tunnel from start to finish? All right, so I need to find the rate. How fast are they digging, or how many feet per month are they digging? In order to do that, I start with my starting value. What is my starting value here? 3,500. You need to write that down. We're going to use that number to find my rate. So if I know after 4 months how much they have left, what could I do to figure out how much they've actually dug? Connor?
You divide by,
Not divide yet. If I subtract how much they have left, would that tell me how much they've completed in 4 months? Okay. So let's say, okay, over here, guys. So here I am over here on my starting point, 3,500 feet. 4 months goes by, and I have 1,500 feet left. Couldn't I subtract those numbers to figure out how much they've dug in those 4 months? Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to subtract those numbers. What do you think you would need to divide by to figure out the rate per month, Josh? 4. Okay, so I know that they dug, what's 3,500 minus 1,500? 2,000 feet in 4 months. And thanks to my problem telling me this is a constant rate, it's not like, man, they got off to the right, start, and in the first month they did 2,000 feet and they did nothing for 3 months. I know it's a constant rate. What's 2,000 divided by 4?
500.
500 feet per month. Okay? So now that I know that, I can scale it. I can scale it. I know if they are consistently, no matter what it takes, digging 500 feet per month, how many months is it going to take them start to finish to dig this tunnel? Okay, so
Wait.
my equation, y stands for my final amount. In this case, it would be feet, equals 500, that's my rate, times x, which is my months. So 500 times how many months would get me my final distance? Y equals what, Mason? 7 months. How would I figure out 7 months? If I know I'm going 500 feet a month, what can I do, Josh?
3,500 divided by 7.
Yep. Well, divided by 500 is 7. Okay? So y, final distance, 7 months. Now, if my rate had been different, so look how this works, guys. So if you can understand this, you can really start to understand what we're doing with these equations. Okay? Think back to even my yogurt examples. Remember from 4.3? Okay? My x value, this is my rate. So let's say I divided and my rate was 100. Okay? Say it was 100 feet a month. Could I still have scaled it? It just would have taken 35 months, which is ridiculous. They're probably not going to hire that company, are they? Okay? That's ridiculous. Exactly. So the rate tells me now I can plug in whatever value I need to for months. Okay? All right. So that's everything. That's everything you need to know.